Hi peeps, and welcome to the second episode of the oil-based baking series, a partnership between Colavita olive oil and me, Jessie Sheehan. Today we are making olive oil triple chocolate chip cookies. They are amazing. I have tried them, love them, and we are using premium Italian Colavita. It is a little bit grassy, it's a little bit spicy, it's very full-bodied, it's delicious. Do the cookies taste like olive oil? Yes. Do they taste strongly of olive oil? Not really. So don't worry about that if that's something you're worried about, and if that's something you're excited about, yay! Okay, first thing we're gonna do, peeps, we are going to add 2.5 cups of bread flour. If you cannot find bread flour, you can use all-purpose. We are going to add 2 teaspoons of kosher salt, and we are going to add 1 teaspoon of baking soda. We are going to add 1/2 cup of milk chocolate. I have chopped up a chocolate bar. I just think that's better than using chips because then you get all these lovely puddles of chocolate. And I have a 1/2 cup of chopped dark chocolate. And then I have a 1/2 cup of chopped white chocolate. Now I won't lie, I had a little bit of trouble finding a white chocolate bar, so I used chips and I chopped those up. And there you go, that's our dry ingredients. Next, we are going to mix up our wet ingredients. First things first, peeps, we have 3/4 cup of olive oil. And like I mentioned, we are using the premium Italian one. We have 1 1/4 cups of dark brown sugar. If you only have light, you can use that. And then we have 1/2 cup of granulated sugar. And we're gonna take our whisk from our dry ingredients and we're gonna whisk this up. Now I love to use more dark brown sugar than granulated sugar when I make chocolate chip cookies because I love the combination of the kind of molassesy, caramelly vibes of of dark brown sugar with a chocolate chip cookie. And dark brown sugar adds a little bit more moisture than granulated sugar, and I like a moist and chewy cookie. That's what we're making here, peeps. If you are into cakey cookies, this might not be your cookie, because this is not a cakey cookie, and this is not a thin and crispy cookie. This is a chewy cookie. Okay, here we go, peeps. Now, we have 1 egg, and we have 2 yolks. And I'm gonna put those in. And the reason, I'm also gonna clean my workspace because I like things to be clean. The reason, I'm gonna clean over here too. And the reason we are using 2 yolks rather than, so it's 1 egg and 2 yolks. The reason we're doing that rather than, let's say, use 3 eggs is because the whites in an egg make something rise, and they can also, and that's sort of not what we want in this cookie. We want our cookie, like I said before, to be a little dense and chewy. So I like to use the yolks because A, they add moisture and they don't make our cookies rise. And then, because I want to make sure, and you can kind of see, peeps, this kind of slightly grassy yellow color from the olive oil, which is so pretty. I'm adding a tablespoon of cream sort of in place of one of those whites so that the amount of liquid in my cookie is right on and perfect. So I'm gonna add a tablespoon of heavy cream and I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon of vanilla. And I like to be a little bit generous with my vanilla when I make chocolate chip cookies because, again, I love the combo of a chocolate chip cookie with a lot of vanilla flavor, moisture, chewiness. I think I've told you all the things I love. Okay, so we do this. We make sure I like to do this for about 30 seconds just to kind of bring everything together, make everything glossy and smooth. Okay, now we tap, 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 tap. And now we are going to add our dry ingredients. Here we go, right on top. And peeps, in case you're wondering, the reason that I put the chocolate in with the flour is because I want to make sure it gets properly sort of incorporated into the dough. And when I say properly, I basically mean evenly. And I feel like if you add it with the flour so that all the chips have like a little bit of flour on them, then you get all those chips properly dispersed throughout your cookie, which is what we want. So I'm just kind of oh, I forgot to mention the other thing, peeps. Did you notice that we are not using a stand mixer? So I kind of am thinking more and more in my baking of ways to avoid using a stand mixer, because I love when things are easy peasy and when you can do everything in a single bowl. So here we go. Whoops, did you see that? Here we go. We have our dough. It's looking delish, if I do say so myself. And I won't lie, I kind of wish I could eat it all just like this, like before you even bake it. But here we go. Oops, excuse me. So now we're gonna scoop our dough. I like really big cookies, so look at my scoop. 1/4 cup, it's huge. If you don't like really big cookies, do not worry, do it your own way, okay? So here's a little trick. I dip my scoop into very hot water, and that helps me scoop easily. Look at that, very pretty. I think I should move my water over here, and then we scoop. And I place the scoops onto the pan in whatever way I want, because with this recipe, I like to rest these cookies in the refrigerator for about 24 to 72 hours, so about a day to 3 days. And the reason I do that is because the longer the cookies rest, the longer the gluten is developed and the chewier they become. So that's kind of like a little secret as to how to get a super chewy cookie. The answer is a long wait in the refrigerator. Now, if you're feeling like, oh my God, I cannot wait to eat cookies, I can't wait that long, do not worry about it. You can just make sure that you put the cookies that you want to eat right away into the freezer just until they get firm, because if you were to put this dough straight into the oven right now, the cookies would spread. And I like my cookies to kind of be short and squat as opposed to long and skinny. Okay, so I'm not gonna bore you with the rest of the scooping. Instead, I'm gonna show you this. Dun, da, 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 get ready. I made cookie dough about 36 hours ago, and I am going to bake this off now so you can see what it looks like, okay? So the first thing I do is I grab my flaky sea salt, because I like a little sea salt, and I put a little sea salt on every cookie. And I only do about 6 on the tray because the cookies are big. And I'm gonna bake these off in a 350-degree oven for 12 minutes, okay? So see you in 12 minutes. Peeps, the cookies are out of the oven. They look beautiful. Now, here's a trick. I take a spatula, so I very lightly press each cookie, and then you get sort of a squat and thick cookie rather than a puffy cookie. Okay, so now we're gonna wait about 3 minutes, and then I'm gonna take a bite. See you in 3. Peeps, our cookies are not still very warm, but now you can see the back, really nice and crispy. I'm gonna break one open so you can see the inside. So good. And look at those yummy pools of chocolate. Thank you so much for joining me in the second episode of the oil-based baking series. I'm excited to see you again next week. You'll be able to find this video on my IGTV, Jessie Sheehan Bakes, on the Colavita IGTV, and on YouTube, Colavita's YouTube channel. So thanks so much, and I'll see you next week.